All right, we're going to read Violet the Pilot. Her inventions will take her sky high. You ready?
Yes.
By Steve Breen. So Violet the Pilot, her adventures will take her sky high. All right, so
You can read it on.
I'm opening it up.
Oh.
Okay. It says everyone in town knew that Violet Van Winkle was a little different. For starters, she and her parents lived in an odd-looking house next to the junkyard her father managed. And while other girls were playing with dolls and tea sets, Violet played with the monkey wrenches and needle nose pliers. So there's Violet.
Take her picture.
And that's her parents' house.
Picture.
It says Violet was a mechanical genius. By the time she was 2, she could fix almost any broken appliance in her house. By 4, she could take apart the grandfather clock and completely reassemble it. Since she didn't have any friends aside from her dog, Orville, she would spend hours tinkering with things from her yard. What did Violet do?
Take all the things from her bike.
In her yard, she would put things together. Said Violet's parents were very proud of her, although they weren't too happy at the time she put a lawnmower engine in her cousin's tricycle. Uh-oh. What do you think when she put, what do you think the tricycle did when she put an engine in it? It made it go what?
Fast.
Fast. How do we know it's going fast?
Because she get right.
What is he doing right here? What you see coming from the back of it? What's that? Dust. So he going fast and look, trying to run out the house. All right, let's see. It says the older she got, the more interesting Violet's creations became. Around the time she turned 8, she was building elaborate machines from scratch, and not just any old machines.
Oh, it's not be a motor machine because they go fast too.
It look like something that's gonna go in the air. Flying machines. Oh, wow.
So cool.
Flying machines.
Wow,
Says her parents couldn't believe their eyes when they saw Violet zoom by for the very first time. They were a little worried in the beginning, but they quickly saw that she was a pretty good pilot. Careful not to hit the house, Violet's father would yell, and put on a sweater, her mother would add. Violet used anything she could to find in the junkyard to make her wonderful contraptions. So she made a wagon that would go pretty fast. And then there was the tumbler. Uh-oh. Something that's going to go in the air. So all of her inventions she made go in the air. Then the bicopter. The bicycopter. And then the rocket can.
I've never seen that before.
Yep. Then the pogo plane. And the slide glider.
Like a parachute.
It says, and the wingamajig, to name a few.
Wingamajig?
Yep.
I got a kind of hat.
So she's flying over the junkyard. And the stuff that she made. It says, Violet's engineering was pretty sound. The only real hazards were tall trees. Listen. The only real hazards were tall trees, piles of junk in the yard. Uh-oh. It says, and huge bugs in her teeth. Ew.
Ew, disgusting.
Because she probably going with her mouth open. And when her mouth open, then the bugs get in it.
Ew.
Kids at school would see Violet eating lunch alone and make fun of her strange books and greasy coveralls. Claude and Clyde Mulrooney were especially obnoxious. So were these kids nice?
No.
No, they're picking with her. It's not nice to pick with people.
It's me.
Yep.
I don't know if me and friends will come to my school.
All right. Says then one day Violet noticed a poster in the drugstore window. Air show October the 20th, it read. That's just 2 weeks away, Violet thought. Can kids fly in the show? Is homemade aircrafts allowed?
I don't know.
It says that night Violet sat in her room thinking about the air show. She knew it would be a good feeling if one of her planes won a prize, and maybe then kids at school would be nice to her. Violet pictured exactly where she would hang her blue ribbon. You're not ready to turn yet. All right, now turn. One page. Okay. Look at her. They still picking at her. They yelling inside her yard while she paint her plane. Let's see what it said. It says she and Orville spent a few days combing the junkyard for just the right materials. When they had collected a giant pile of stuff, the building began. One day, the Mulrooney twins happened to pass by. "Look, it's that girl from school," one of them said. "What are you doing, weirdo?" "I'm building an airplane," she told them. The twins exploded in laughter and then mumbled something mean as they walked away. Orville barked at the boys, but Violet just went back to her project. "Take it easy, buddy," she said. "We're too busy to worry about them." So she's still making her airplane.
She's making her.
Turn one page.
I think it's a parachute.
We'll see. Oh wow! Look, when she got through.
It's a parachute. It's a real parachute, guys.
I don't know. It says, finally, after days of hard work, Violet had finished making her flying machine. She named the magnificent new craft the Hornet. "Wait till the people in the grandstand see me flying this," Violet said to Orville. The test flight was a success. She doing loop-de-loops.
Whoa, that's cool.
In her new plane.
Whoop.
Loop-de-loops.
Whoop, whoop.
Not you. She doing them. Look at her. She got Orville in the plane with her. It says, on the day of the big air show, Violet took off, bursting with excitement. Her parents' faces had beamed with pride when she finished her look. She thought about that as she flew through the clear autumn sky. She calculated that the trip would take about 20 minutes. She would arrive just in time for the start of the show. So she's flying in her plane that she made to the air show. Oh, wow, look. She sees some people that fell in the river. They've turned over in the river and they look like they need some help. Let's see what it say. Suddenly something caught Violet's eye. In the river below, a group of people were waving frantically. Violet lowered her attitude to get a better look. A troop of Boy Scouts had run into trouble while canoeing. Violet knew she had to help, and fast.
But she did.
Yes, she did. It wasn't easy rescuing all the boys. But Violet piloted the Hornet with careful precision. So she dropped something down to get them up out of the water.
What?
And she got them up one by one. Saving the Scoutmaster from going over the falls was particularly dangerous.
Yes.
Violet dropped the grateful Scouts off at the hospital. And they waving. She waving at them. She dropped them off to safety at the hospital. Then she checked her watch. 3:30, she said to Orville sadly. We missed the air show. She turned the plane toward home and sighed. It was a miserable feeling. That evening, Violet had no appetite for dinner. She just went upstairs and sat on her bed. She said, all of a sudden, a lot of noise outside the house. She and Orville went to the window and discovered that a crowd of people had gathered. Somebody spotted her. "There's Violet," the boy shouted jubilantly. "There's our hero." So look at Mom and Dad looking out. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And Violet looking out the window because she hears a lot of noise. Van Winkle stepped outside, squinting from all the flash bulbs that were popping. The press, the mayor, the fire and police chiefs, even kids and teachers from school had all learned of the rescue that day and had come to praise her. They all happy. It says, "Young lady, please accept this Medal of Valor as a token of our gratitude and esteem," said the mayor, and he gave Orville a new collar with the license that said K9 Hero. It says, from that day on, Violet's parents let her fly whenever she wanted, but her mom still made her wear a sweater. Look at her up in the air. This man in the airplane flying, and she flying her little airplane.
Beautiful.
Yep. So, again, the name of this book is Violet the Pilot. Violet the Pilot. What's the name of it?
Violet the Pilot.